capital city, it's Nightique with Edward St. Pé.
Welcome to the show. I'm Edward St. Pé. Well, a big news day in the capital city. Two ladies were caught shoplifting $2,000 worth of merchandise stuffed in the rows of their body fat. The cops said we can do this the easy way or the disgusting way. Luckily, they were arrested before they could use the merchandise, thong bikinis, and they were bulking up before they committed the crime by shoplifting $2,000 worth of burritos from Kroger next door early this morning. Anyway, quite a news day here in Jackson. Well, we've got a great show lined up for you tonight. Jackson Free Press publisher Todd Stauffer is here. He'll be talking about what they're doing at the Jackson Free Press these days, and also our State Film Commissioner Ward Emling. Stay tuned for Nightique.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking reinvented.
Todd Stauffer is the publisher of the Jackson Free Press in Jackson, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good to be here.
It's good to have you on the show tonight.
This is great. Who knew? You could just pop in here and be doing
statewide
television, statewide television. This is great.
Now, we've known each other a long time. Since you became the publisher of the Jackson Free Press, since you founded that newspaper,
I did.
You and I have been friends, and we've known each other all these years. Tell me about the print business. You know, what is so many changes in the world of print?
A lot.
Tell us about that.
Well, okay, so we launched, the Jackson Free Press in 2002, and so this is actually where we are right now, is getting into our 14th year of publishing, which is crazy, But in 2002, things were a lot different. One of the things that was different for a publication like ours was, we saw Jackson is the capital city. It was a capital city that didn't have a publication like this. Most big cities, the top 120 cities in North America, have a publication like the Jackson Free Press.
And when you say a publication like that, you mean a weekly?
A weekly, a news weekly, news analysis, and then events, arts, music, getting all of that coverage together, right? And so for years, we would call these actually alternative news weeklies. And what we were an alternative to was the daily paper. Well, and we kind of launched that way. I mean, that's what we were thinking in 2002. Something that paper was back then, and I don't just mean the Jackson Free Press, but that type of paper, was social media. It was the way, like if you wanted to find a roommate, you'd put a classified in, or if you wanted to find a date, you might find them in the personals. That was social media.
It was, right.
So something that has changed over the years is the fact that some of what we do is been a little disaggregated, and it goes out to, Craigslist, or it goes out to Match.com.
Disaggregated.
Well, so it's one of our terms. Yeah.
That's a good term.
Yeah. So it's, and at the same time, weekly papers around the country have kind of been pulling different parts of the daily apart too. So back in that same amount of time, you would have had a daily that had a big weekend section, and they had a big lifestyle section and a big arts and entertainment section. So as they've kind of shrunk, then you find these weeklies are often kind of filling a niche. Oddly enough, one of the biggest niches we probably fill is city coverage. Because as the daily has fewer reporters, or as the news stations can put, fewer reporters on certain beats, we're there with a guy who can, a reporter whose job it is to go sit down at city council meetings and get through the minutia of it, and then bring it back to somebody, and in that weekly format be able to give you some analysis and give you a real sense of not just the who's, he said and she said, but really what's going on there and what does the informed kind of citizen need to know. So it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun to be able to focus like that. At the same time, we have to spend a lot of time on our digital tools, on how we're getting the word out in the ways that the reader and the consumer wants to get it.
So from print, now you're engaging into the digital world. What is the percentage of your activity and everything you're doing print versus digital today? How important is digital?
A lot of the time we spend is on digital, but I would put it this way, it's digital first, okay? So when we, for instance, a big part of what we do is we tell people about events that are going on around town. Well, our events listings editor, we actually have 2 different kind of full-time equivalents that work on event calendars alone, right? Those people actually put all that stuff online first. And so what you're going to find it on our website well before it hits the newspaper. Then as the newspaper comes along, they can actually pull that out of our content system and put it in print and pretty it up and get it ready for that week.
So what is the website for Jackson Free Press?
JacksonFreePress.com. We a couple years back got jfp.ms, so that if somebody just wants to type 5 letters in a period, that's all they got to do. So yeah, JacksonFreePress.com.
It's been quite a stunning change in business and in the world of print, I would imagine, that you've seen over these last 14 years, right?
It's incredible. Well, and you think about it, I mean, every business is changing pretty dramatically. I mean, I spent half an hour last night watching YouTube through my Roku. I mean, it's like I was sitting there looking at my TV, looking up funny little comedy bits or whatever.
Right.
It's like everything is changing. Everybody is getting. I mean, we used to. It's kind of an aside, but we used to talk about big box stores a lot, right? And how big box stores were changing local business. Well, now, Amazon is changing the format for big box stores.
That's the truth.
I mean, the Best Buys around the country are having trouble because people can go to Amazon.
One of the best Buys closed here in Jackson recently. There's an example.
And that's a business decision. That's and they're well, I'm not going to get into Best Buy's finances, but they're challenged on that front. In terms of how it changes media, well enough how a lot of the media is changing. In print, there's something really nice about being weekly where we are. We've grown every year that we've been in existence. We've grown revenue every year. So being in this market is nice because it's not it's not San Francisco, where everybody expects everything to show up on their phone at any given moment. You've got, and not that it shouldn't, and that's fine, but a lot of what we can do, we can kind of roll out through our own app, or we don't have to do 20 different apps, to please a whole bunch of different markets or segments. And then I think that one of the things that we launched with and that we've always really focused on is we're locally owned. We have local, hardcore local news coverage, and we support the local business community. We like to come up with promotions and pieces and explainers about why you have to shop local. And it happens that Jackson, and the Tri-County area, I mean Central Mississippi, likes its unique local businesses. I mean, people go to chains, but I kind of joke about how Jackson is the city that killed the Starbucks. I mean, we had like 7 Starbucks and they were all gone except one, And it's like, Cups, our local coffee chain, went and bought most of those locations and is thriving, and I think that it's neat to live in and to work with and then to promote this authentic, diverse group of business people, of professionals, of all that make up Jackson. It's a fun place to do this work. So as we're surfing the changes, we've been fortunate enough to succeed, at it. This will be the biggest year we've done with digital revenue, which is a lot of fun. I'd like to do a lot more, but it's a great year. Try to stay young and hip enough and hire younger people, to help us out and to say, hey, we're doing this right, doing this wrong, and stay ahead of it.
How important is video? I mean, when you look at digital.
Video is nice. I mean, and we don't do enough video. We did kind of an experiment back at the last city campaign when we had the mayoral campaign, and we had a lot of fun with video, and we're actually doing almost like Vine videos. We're doing little snippets, of video with the different candidates and stuff like that. That was a real positive. I think we need to do more video at the Jackson Free Press. It's tough because, as you well know, you got to have your business model. You need to be able to monetize it in order to put the resources into it. But it's certainly in the short to middle term, we'd like to see a lot more video.
It's amazing. I mean, whether it's a radio station or newspapers, when you've got the website, there's going to be video there, and it seems like there's so many screens today. I mean, and it's just growing. I mean, there's many screens.
Well, and so, like this show, I think a lot of people appreciate that opportunity for a moment of of intimate contact through that screen with like a politician or with a decision maker that you don't get just by seeing him in print or getting that little sound bite. You know, I like the idea. One of the things we did during that mayoral campaign is we actually brought all the candidates into the office who would do it and sat them down. We did like an hour video, but then we edited that, and it gave people an opportunity to see their answer to the question, their thought process, that everything they were doing there, and not just a quick little soundbite in an article. You know, so that's fun to do. Obviously, video of people, you know, out having a good time. Anytime, I believe that one of the things that our smartphones are doing for us is really giving us an opportunity to go see something before we go there. So, you know, when you're looking at an app that tells you what the restaurant looks like, or when you can do a walk around on Google Maps or something, and you know, and see a neighborhood before you visit it when you're on vacation or whatever. I think that's pretty remarkable. I mean, it changes the way you can interact with a community, or get out of your comfort zone and, you know, get a little more creative with what you do.
Well, Jackson Free Press distributed all around the Jackson metro area, the three-county area. Now, for folks in other parts of the state, your website is, once again?
JacksonFreePress.com, or the easy one is JFP, Jackson Free Press, JFP.ms.
Okay, good. Todd Stauffer, thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
It's fun to have you here, and we want you to come back and keep us up to date with what's happening at the Jackson Free Press.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have a paper like that in Jackson. Okay, back with more of the show after this.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer, and today Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507. Your on-air career journey begins at BroadcastDemo.tv. Both recent graduates as well as seasoned news and weather veterans need an updated and fresh demo tape to apply for those on-air positions across the country. At BroadcastDemo.tv, a one-day visit to our WeatherVision studio, and you'll have an HD and digitally edited demo tape that you'll be proud of. BroadcastDemo.tv. Invest in yourself.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking. Reinvented.
Well, Ward Emling, our film commissioner in Mississippi, is here with us. Ward, thank you for coming.
Good to be here.
Good
Thanks
to
for
have
having
you
me back, Edward. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's talk about some of the practical things that are working with films, the film industry and Mississippi. We had a film last year that came and was filmed in the Jackson Pearl area. It was called Dixieland.
Called Dixieland. And I mean, we had a great year last year. We had 19 movies in the state of Mississippi last year.
Is that a record?
That is a record by about 300%. We've never had nearly that many. And they were all over the coast and the Delta and in the Jackson area. But in the Jackson area, we had a lot of films, and one of the ones that I actually took a big interest in and worked hard on was this movie called Dixieland. And I'd met with the director and the producers in New York. I was just up there, and they called out of the blue, so I went to see him. I said, I'm in town, I'm coming to see you. And I really liked them, and I liked their script, and I liked their project. And they had two really good young actors attached. Riley Keough plays the female lead, and she is, well, she's Lisa Marie Presley's daughter, so she's the granddaughter of this guy from Tupelo. And a young actor named Chris, Chris Zelna, sorry, I kind of blanked on his name there for a second. And Chris is in an HBO series called The Leftovers. And So they were attached.
And Riley Keough was in Mad Max.
She was in the latest Mad Max, and she's been in a lot of things. You know, Riley's young, like 25, but she's been in several things, and had been in the producer's woman named Jen Gation, and she had been in one of Jen's films. And I don't think Chris had been in anything that they had worked on, but he and Riley knew each other. And so, you know, it's a pretty exciting project because it's a terrific script, and they were terrific. They're two terrific young actors. And then they cast this actress. They cast this person named Faith Hill to play Chris's mom. And it's like, whoa, okay, here we go. This is going to be great.
And that's like her first dramatic role, I think.
Well, no, she had been in Stepford Wives, and she had been in something else, I think. And but you know, she got a hold of the script through her agent, and really connected with the material, I hear. And she does a terrific job. They all do great. It's a terrific film. I was at Tribeca this year.
Which, I mean, that's a great start right there to be even anywhere around Tribeca, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, it was just recently at a couple of festivals in Europe, and it will be released nationally in December.
And we got to mention in November, November 14th,
November the 14th,
Mississippi International Film Festival, which is in Jackson at Tinseltown. It's msfilm.org is going to have a special screening. Of Dixieland.
Yep, it'll be the first public screening in this area, actually, and and you know, the director, Hank Bedford's the director and wrote the script, and Hank will be here. We are hoping that Jen, the producer, will be here, and we're starting to work on getting some of the actors here. And also had an actor named Brad Carter, who's terrific, and a guy named R.J. Mitty, who is in Breaking Bad, is in it.
It's a great cast.
Yeah, and Steve Earle, the musician Steve Earle, is in it. So we're going after all of them. Now, who knows how many we'll get, but we'll get a few of them here.
And so the Tinseltown in Pearl is going to show it. I think it's probably going to air around 6 o'clock, 6 in the evening, which is Saturday, November 14th. And there'll be right next door, the Courtyard Marriott is going to be the host hotel for any after-party activity. So just mentioning it, msfilm.org for more information on Mississippi International Film Festival and the screening of Dixieland.
Right, Dixieland.
So,
but
you know,
it wasn't the only one. I mean, I will say that last year we had a lot of, the interesting thing about the film industry right now for us is that we're getting these small independent films. The budgets are under $5 million, and some of them they're under $2 million, and a few of them it's under $1 million. So they're all small. They're very interesting scripts, however, so they're attracting really good actors. And you know, we had Life at These Speeds, a movie called Life at These Speeds, and Battle Creek, and this Western that's shot up in Greenwood with Woody Harrelson and Liam Hemsworth called By Way of Helena. We had several on the coast, and they've just, all of a sudden, that's sort of our niche, these smaller independents. And Nina Parikh in the film office, who's the deputy director, and I, you know, we're thrilled with this. They hire a lot of local people and give people an opportunity that they've never had. You know, and like I said, they're interesting scripts. They're things that you really, when you're called in the middle of the night, you know, or on the weekend, and it's fine. You know, it's like, all right, yeah. You kind of get committed to these things, and you know that they need your help, and you're happy to help them because they're good projects.
So a producer would say, I'm going to Mississippi to shoot because there is an incentive program there. What is the incentive program in Mississippi?
Well, the incentive, I mean, and these are the financial incentives, as we treat this film industry as an industry, as we would any other. So we do have an incentive program in place, and ours is a rebate program. We rebate 25% of a production company's local spend, what they spend in Mississippi. and 25% of the non-resident payroll, the people that they bring in to work in Mississippi, that's a 25% rebate on their salaries. And then we offer a 30% rebate on the salaries of Mississippi residents. So anybody that they hire, cast, crew, from Mississippi, there's a 30% rebate. And this is that's kind of become a pretty standard incentive these days. We're all, 40-something states now have incentives. Some of them have tax credits, and a few, like Mississippi, have a rebate. Some have what they call a grant program, which is essentially a rebate. And those, and we're all, the top tier incentives are all about 25 to 30%, and in terms of the cash value of them. And and so now the challenge is finding local crew. We've always had good actors, but local crew is the big challenge. We fight with Georgia and Louisiana and Massachusetts and New Mexico and Alabama even for films, and they all have a bit of a deeper crew base than we do. So, which is another reason we like the smaller films, is that they hire more local people. The large films, the get-on-ups and the helps that come through, they hire a lot of people, but mostly those people are extras and production assistants and things like that. From the skill positions, they bring most of those people in. The smaller films are using more of our local people and giving chances to them.
So this is a whole new breakthrough industry development for the state.
Yeah.
Because what does it mean if a film comes in with a $3 or $5 million budget, or even greater than that? It has an economic impact.
Sure.
To the local area, right?
Yeah, and that impact is incredibly broad. When you think about a movie coming to town, it's not just a bunch of actors, showing up on a set. You've got, 100 or more people on a crew. They're staying in hotels. They're eating in restaurants. They are spending money at the dry cleaners. And the production is doing this. Production has to come in. The production comes in, sets up an office, rents office furniture, rents the office space, puts in phones, puts in other utilities, rents office supplies and machinery and all of that. They create an office and essentially a manufacturing facility, and then they hire people and they spend money all across the spectrum of any community's retail market. And but then the actors and the crew that come in that aren't local, they're in hotels. Well, they don't have a kitchen, so they're going out to eat, and they're getting involved in the lifestyle, and they're getting involved in the arts and the entertainment of the area. And on their days off, they travel. We know they go to various places, Natchez and the coast and Oxford and Tupelo and Meridian. They go all over and into the Delta, and they go see the state. And it's probably, you can't put a number on some of that. We know how much every movie spends. They have to report that. The remarkable thing about it is that it's so pervasive into a community. So.
And that's everybody is sort of hip to the deal now around the country, all the states, right?
Yeah,
lure them in.
We're one of the first film commissions in the world. We were created in '73, and the idea is that we knew that the movie industry was mobile, could go anywhere. And so they grew through the years, but it was in the mid-'90s when Canada put some things in place, some incentives in place, and that the world kind of took note that, oh, yeah, this is an industry that if you create the proper environment for it, it will come and thrive in your place. And so, in 2002, we started doing it in the United States at a successful, clip. And then we created our incentive in 2004. And And last year was not not a kind of an anomaly year. Because we've been busy this year, 2015, but 2014 was a remarkable year, but that's going to be the norm. We're going to have 15 to 25 movies every year. And the great thing about the film industry is that it can go anywhere. You can go to any one of 82 counties. They're just looking for the right location and enough hotel rooms for their crew. We've had movies in Charleston, Mississippi, and Greenwood. We've had them. I mean, we've had them. I think we've had a movie shoot in all 82 counties over the years.
What is the website at the Film Commission?
The Film Office website is www.filmmississippi.org, and everything's spelled out, filmmississippi.org. So, and that's it. And if you're a crew person with experience, with credits on films or television, then you can, list yourself in our crew database. But there's a lot of information there, movies that have, listing of movies that have shot here, and then you like us on Facebook and you sign up for our email newsletter, and you'll get all the information about castings and productions coming in and looking for crew. filmmississippi.org, and that we also all the information about the film festivals, across the state are there.
And thank you for helping lure Dixieland into the Mississippi International Film Festival this year by talking to the producer and the director.
Well, they shot in Pearl, and they stayed across the street in the Quality Inn and Streets, Inn and Suites there across the freeway. So it was where else? You had to be in Pearl. They had to do that film in Pearl.
Isn't that, yeah. Well, thank you again, Warren, for helping us with that. It's msfilm.org, and that's Dixieland, a special screening at the Mississippi International Film Festival on November 14th at Tinseltown. Thank you, Ward, for being with us, and we hope you'll come back soon.
I will indeed,
and
anytime.
Keep us abreast of the film industry in Mississippi.
Sure.
Join us every weeknight statewide for Nightique with Edward St. Pé. If you have suggestions for guests or want to be on the show yourself, drop us a line at www.nightique.com. I'm your announcer, Jim Pollard. Good night from all of us at Nightique.